We're just taking a look at the Archos Flip here. This is an 11.6-inch laptop with a folding screen. So you've seen that before. There's the folding screen, and that will fold all the way back into tablet mode. Now the Archos Flip is targeted at sort of entry level here. So we've got an Atom X5 inside. So that's the tablet platform. Quite interesting because that's the one with the extremely long battery life, and it goes from 1.3 I think to 2.1 gigahertz. I have to check on the turbo specs there, but that's good enough for an office, sort of low-end office, or an educational, or definitely an entertainment tablet. Let's have a look at some of these ports then. So we've got a good selection of ports. This supports USB 3, so there's two USB ports there. I think one of them is a USB 3. We've got power, and then behind here we've got a micro SD slot and space for something else. Well, maybe there'll be a 3G version of there, but maybe a thought for the future. Micro HDMI and headphone port there. On the other side it's pretty clean, and it's actually a pretty clean device all over. It's got a rubberized matte finish there. Not perfect if you're eating chips at the same time as working, but it looks and feels really nice, and it's quite grippy as well. And then on the underside, that's fairly smooth. You'll notice there's no fan ports there. This is a fanless device. Now, as you can see, it's a Windows 10 device and touchscreen. That's 10-point touch, and don't think there's any pen support there. But I've just been checking out the keyboard with the notepad here. This is a test of the keyboards, and it's it's not too bad. I like where's the caps lock? I like the throw of the keys. There's a good key throw here. It's a solid key, there's no wobble, and it feels pretty nice, well spaced, full size keyboard there. And the touchpad too feels really nice, and the left and right click isn't too hard or deep, and so actually that's a pretty nice keyboard and touchpad combination there. In fact, the screen is pretty bright as well. I'm just going to check the brightness. We're on 100% brightness there. That's a reasonable brightness. Let's see if my eyes, this Candy Crush Saga icon always tells me sort of how good the color is on it. It's not too bad. I wouldn't say it's the best color reproduction there, but certainly screen angles are okay, brightness is okay, and probably the color range is going to be fine for any sort of non-commercial, non-professional use. So the device I have in front of me is actually not the final build. So the specifications that I'm seeing, for example, in Device Manager aren't matching the specifications that I've got in front of me, which include GPS, for example, which is not showing up in the Device Manager here. But basically you've got an Intel Atom X5 Z8300 platform. That's a quad-core up to 2.1 gigahertz, I believe, 2 gigs of RAM, and this is going to come with 32 gigs of SSD. Obviously it's a touchscreen. We've got 2-megapixel camera, and a 30-watt hour battery is in here, so that's going to give you a reasonable battery life. The weight doesn't say, but I think that's going to be 1.5 kilos. It feels a little bit heavy. It feels bulky, but it also feels fairly sturdy. And if I flip that round, that definitely feels a little bit too heavy to have as a standard tablet. What you want to be doing is using that sort of scenario in tablet mode. So, after saying all that and feeling that this is quite a nice build for 249 euros, I have to say that it's actually only coming to France at the moment, and Archos are obviously going to be watching how this goes in France before they put it into, for example, UK or Germany. My feeling is at this price, if they can keep this build quality, then it could be a success, unless there's any other issues with the device. But it's a solid build, nice finish. 249 euros is the right price, and this could make a nice Christmas present for quite a few people in France this year. Let's hope that it will make a present for some people in 2016 in the rest of Europe. It's the Archos Flip, an 11.6-inch convertible, here at IFA 2015 in Berlin. Thanks for watching.